Hey guys, this is part 2 of my August book haul. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I am still in the same outfit from the book-up-a-thon video, and that is because I'm just having a massive film day today and filming these out. I already filmed my Barnes & Noble book haul and posted that about a week ago for all the purchases that I did with the wonderful gift that I got for a little mini shopping spree there. So that is out there. I will link that in the description below if you want to check that out. But I did do, well actually I ended up doing 2 other purchases. I did one that I had mentioned in the video, which was through a discount website, which is bookoutlet.com. It's a website that has sorry about that. That would be one of the doors opening and somebody going in and out of the garage. We might hear that, and again in a little bit. I apologize. Anyway, I went to bookoutlet.com, and that is a discount book site where they have a huge collection of books. You can choose paperback, hardcover, soft covers, library bindings, you name it, all at highly discounted prices. You are kind of at the mercy of what's available in stock, but they have a lot of choices, and I think any shipping, any purchase over $30 is free shipping. So I did a purchase there, and I also happened to go to my local Ollie's discount store, which is a discount store for a variety of different things, but they have a book section there. So I did do a little shopping there as well. So I'm going to start off with the Ollie's purchase, because that's a little bit different and a lot shorter. And so the first book that I got is Midnight Beauties, and this is the hardback edition. And as you can see, I have to flip it upside down. It was only $1.99. How can you pass it up? Hardback, $1.99. This one is the second book in the Grim Lovelies series. So I don't know too much about it. I don't really want to read it because this is the second book, it might give away secrets to the first one, and I don't really want to do that. But for $1.99, I figured I would get the sequel and then prompts me to read the first one. But yeah, I loved the cover, and it seems like maybe a dark academia, maybe witchy vibes. I'm not so sure, but I'll get the first one soon and let you guys know. The next book I got, I couldn't believe it. So I have Ember and Ashes. I got it actually about a year ago from Book Outlet, but I got the paperback version. Haven't read it yet, so I will be trying to add that at some point. But I ended up seeing Sky and Storm, the hardback edition, for, you guessed it, $1.99. I could not pass this up. I haven't started the series, but I know that this is one of the highly acclaimed, from the Ember and Ashes, Torch of Night, Reaper at the Gates. This is one of that series. I've been extremely excited to pick this one up and to find one of the books in the series. I'm always down for a good deal. So I'm going to add that and hopefully be able to get to the Ember and Ashes series soon. I know it's got a lot of acclaim all along the booktube boards, if you will. I'm trying not to do too much in-depth analysis of these books because there are a lot of them, and I'm going to try to keep this video down to a minimum because I know I have a lot of really long videos out on my channel, and I, try to keep it short. So the next book I got was also $1.99. This is a paperback, and that is Fireborn. And Fireborn kind of deals with, it's got dragons, it's got a kind of a class war going on, a little bit of a revolution, and it basically ends with loyalty and love are tested in this gripping adventure that asks what matters most, the family you were born into or the family you've chosen. So seems like a fantasy war series. Looks interesting. It's got dragons. We're gonna go with it. And yeah. The next book was actually on my book list, and I was going to get it at my discount site, but I found it here for $2.99, and that is Never After. And this is written by Melissa De La Cruz. And this is basically the story of what they call the 13th fairy. And it's basically saying that they don't really give much away on the back of the book, but I'm assuming it's going to be kind of fairy tale inspired. As you can see, like Aladdin's lamp. So I don't know if this is going to be a comedic retelling. I don't know if this is going to be the darker side or the villain side, because it's Melissa De La Cruz also is part of the Descendants series. So I don't know. All I know, it's going to be kind of fairy tale-ish. It's probably going to be retellings of several, or at least one of the fairy tales that we know and love. So stay tuned for that. The last book that I got from Ollie's is another sequel to a series, and that is Umberland. And it looks like this is the second book to Everland, which looks like it's kind of a darker fantasy, twisted, possibly retelling of Alice in Wonderland. Haven't read the first one, but like I said, for $1.99 hardback edition, I am going to get the sequel, and then that way, you know what? Now I'm prompted to go get Everland and go read that. So like I said, it's a Alice in Wonderland retelling, and we'll see how this does. So that was it for Ollie's. So now we're gonna go to the book outlet one. At Ollie's, if you're looking for a total from Ollie's, all of those books cost me about $10, $11. And that to me was like a great bargain for hardbacks, and yeah. So for the books that I got from Book Outlet online, or bookoutlet.com, I got A Girl Walks Into a Bar. There you go. I told you it was going to happen again. There's the ding. I don't know if you heard it or not. But I got A Girl Walks Into a Bar. This I just talked about in my Bookoplathon. So I will link that below because I give a little bit more of a description. But this is basically a choose your own adventure in the romance world. So multiple different possibilities, multiple different endings. I can't wait to read this one. Super excited. The next book that I got is The Witch's Heart. I also recently just talked about this in my Bookoplathon. I chose this for the patterns on the cover. This is giving me Circe vibes, but it's kind of a Nordic Viking retelling of kind of like a witchy tale. So has some of the Norse gods in there. Loki's making an appearance in here. Odin's making an appearance in here. It's been on my watch list for a while. Finally got it. It's going to be read in September for Bookoplathon. So next on my list, I got Dark in the Deepest Red by Anna Marie Macklemore. From my understanding, this kind of gave me vibes of Giselle, which is a ballet where girls die with broken hearts, and they basically become these dancing spirits, and they dance at night, and if you get caught amongst them, they will basically make you dance until you die. It's a broken-hearted tragedy of a ballet, but it's one of my favorite because it's beautiful when Giselle's beloved comes up to the woods to apologize for breaking her heart, and so she dances around him to protect him from all the other ones. It's absolutely beautiful. But this gave me a lot of vibes from that. But it basically says, summer 1518, a strange sickness sweeps through Strasbourg, France. Women dance in the streets without stopping, some until they fall down dead. As rumors of witchcraft and demon possession spread, suspicion turns towards Lavinia Blau and her family, and Lavinia may have to do the unimaginable to save herself and everyone she loves. 5 centuries later, a pair of beautiful red shoes seal themselves to Rosalia Olivia's feet, making her dance uncontrollably. They draw her toward a boy who knows the dancing fever's history better than anyone, Emile, whose family was blamed for the fever 500 years ago. But there's more to what happened in 1518 than even Emile knows, and discovering the truth may determine whether Rosella survives the red shoes. So this could be a mixture of Giselle with the old red shoes. I know of the red shoes, but I'm not 100% sure on that story. But I know that it's another type of story, so it could be a retelling of that, could be retelling of Giselle. We'll find out. Beautiful cover. super excited. The next book that I got, I'm hoping to maybe save this for December or maybe even save it for Polarthon, and that is The Winter Duke. And this is by Claire Eliza Bartlett. And this was just really kind of interesting to me. It has, I feel like, Russian vibes, Russian mythology, I'm not sure. And basically, Ikeda longs to lead the frozen dukedom of Kilma above, and once her brother is named heir, she'll be able to escape her murderous family. But just as freedom is finally within reach, her parents and 12 siblings fall victim to a strange sleeping sickness, and no one can find a cure. Ikeda inherits the title of Duke, her brother's captivating warrior bride, an ambassadorship to the underwater shadow kingdom that has fascinated her all her life, and the challenges from without and within her ministry. Nothing has prepared her for diplomacy, for war, for love, or the crown she has never wanted. If Akata is to survive the Kilma above, she must quickly decide how to wield her family's magic and power in this enchanted tale of political intrigue. So, very interesting. December or Polarthon, we'll find out. Okay, so the next one I'm trying to find because they are part of the same series. So, as you know, I am a huge fan of, point to it right there, The Summoner's War by Taryn Matharu. I did a video all about the Summoner's series. I will link that down below because it is one that I happened chance upon and I loved it. I thought it was great. It was very like dark Harry Potter, Pokemon, Lord of the Rings vibes is what it's mostly, you know, portrayed as. Loved it. So I thought I was going to find another series, and I know he has one. It's called the Chosen series, I believe, or it's called the Contender series. I'm sorry, the Contender series. And so at Book Outlet, they had book 1, The Chosen, and it looks like book 3, which is The Champion. So now all I have to do is go find book 2, but these are part of a brand new series. And basically, to give you a little bit of that, is throughout history, people have vanished with no explanation. A group of teenagers are about to discover why. Cade is settling into a new boarding school, contemplating his future, when he finds himself transported to another realm. He soon realizes this new world is populated with lost remnants of the past, prehistoric creatures, ancient relics, and stranger still, people. Overwhelmed by his new surroundings, Cade has little time to adjust, for soon he and his fellow classmates are forced to become contenders in a brutal game controlled by mysterious overlords. But who are these beings and why did they choose these teens? Cade must prepare for battle because hiding is not an option. So I'm excited because in the Summoners, there was a lot of war and there was also kind of like a battle championship kind of game that the students had to go for. And it was really well done and really well written, and I liked that. So to have this kind of be the main focus of this series, I'm intrigued. So I will probably try to get the second book and read these all in one go and do another Taryn Matharu series review at some point. I'm excited because, like I said, I'm liking his book so far. He's becoming one of my favorites to read. So next on the list is Curses and Kisses by Sandhya Menon. I don't know if I pronounced that. I'm sorry. But this is a Rosetta Academy novel, part of that series. So I'm not sure how many books are in their series. I only see one pictured on the back, so I don't know if it's a duology or if it continues. But basically, this is kind of, it looks like it might be I don't know if it's 2 points of view, but there's Princess Jaya Rao. Nothing is more important than family. When the loathsome Emerson clan steps up their centuries-old feud to target Jaya's little sister, nothing will keep Jaya from exacting her revenge. Then Jaya finds out she'll be attending the same elite boarding school as Gray Emerson, and it feels like the opportunity of a lifetime. She knows what she must do, make Gray fall in love with her and break his heart. But much to Jaya's annoyance, Gray's brooding demeanor and lupine, bright blue eyes have drawn her in. There's simply no way she and her sworn enemy could find their fairy tale ending, right? Well, his lordship Gray Emerson is a misanthrope. Thanks to an ancient curse by a Rao matriarch, Gray knows he's doomed once he turns 18. Sequestered away in the mountains at Rosetta Academy, he's lived an isolated existence until Jaya Rao bursts into his life. Sparkling and elegant, Jaya's unlike anything or anyone Gray has ever met. Still, he can't shake the feeling that she's hiding something that might have to do with the rose-shaped ruby pendant around her neck. As the stars conspire to keep them apart, Jaya and Gray grapple with the question of love, loyalty, and whether it's possible to write your own happy ending. So I don't know if he's a werewolf, and maybe looks like her family's the one that cursed them, and so maybe enemies to lovers. Sounds interesting. If it's werewolves, I'm down. So we'll go with that. The next book is on my 40 before 40 list, and that is Pachinko. This is a generation tale of a young Korean girl who, I think she's a fisherman's daughter, and she falls in love with a man who is in a different class altogether. He's rich and wealthy businessman, and they have an affair basically. She finds out that he's married and she is pregnant. So she goes and she marries a missionary on his way to Japan, and tries to just get away and live her life as best she can. However, the businessman finds out about that and he's not ready to let her go. So it's a generational romance, possibly. Definitely one that's kind of like in the tales of like the Joy Luck Club, whatever. I know that there is a movie that was made about this recently, and it stars Lee Min-ho, and he's one of me and my husband's most favorite Korean actors, because we watched him in, for me, it was Boys Over Flowers, which was one of the first K-dramas I ever watched, and I loved it. And for my husband, he was in City Hunter, which was one of his favorites that he's ever watched. So we're both Lee Min-ho fans. So I can't wait to read this and then go and watch the movie. So the next book that's on my, that I bought is been on my list for a while, and that is For All Time. And this was one that intrigued me because it sounds like one where they're in love and it's told over different incarnations. They reincarnate and they're never able to be together. So each time they reincarnate, they find each other again, they fall in love again. So which lifetime will they actually be able to get their happy ending? This reminded me a lot of, I think it's Anne Bashar, My Name is Memory, which is also a really great book. So I'm excited to read it. I love books where it's kind of got that immortal, I love you beyond this lifetime vibe. So I'm excited to read that. Another book that I got that has been on my list for a while, or since it's come out, is Edgewood. And Edgewood is basically, no matter how far she runs, the forest of Edgewood always comes for Emmeline Clark. The scent of damp earth curls around her nose when she sings, and moss creeps across the stage. It's as if the woods of her childhood, shrouded in folklore and tall tales, are trying to reclaim her. But Emmeline has no patience for silly superstitions. When she learns her grandfather has disappeared from his nursing home, leaving only a milky orb in his wake, the stories Emmeline has always scoffed at suddenly seem less foolish. After searching for him almost everywhere, Emmeline finally succumbs to the call of Edgewood, entering the forest she spent years trying to escape. Soon she finds herself in the court of the fabled Wood King himself, and she makes a deal, her voice for her grandfather's freedom. Little does she know she stumbled in the middle of a curse that threatens the existence of a life she has worked hard to forget. With the help of the handsome and brooding tithe collector, a surly blacksmith, and a lost childhood friend, Emmeline sets out not only to save her grandfather's life, but to right past wrongs and in the process discover her true voice. So very interesting. Probably some fae in here, I'm not sure. Sounds like it, but sounds fantastic. So the next book, I was a little upset because it got bent, but that is Not Your Average Hot Guy. I have been waiting for this. I think it's gonna be a fun one. And basically it's about a girl named Callie who basically starts, she works in her family's escape room, and she ends up falling for this guy that looks like the bad boy. And he actually is, his name's Luke, and he's actually none other than Luke Morningstar, the Prince of Hell and the son of the devil himself. So it looks like it might be a rom-com funny thing with a girl falling in love with the Prince of Hell. So I thought this was kind of fun and it sounded great. So I'll let you know. The next book that I got was also, like I said, most of these have been on my list, so I was so excited that they were available. And that is Vespertine. And I do just love like the shimmery cover of that. I think it's great. And this is by Margaret Rogerson. And basically, Artemisia is training to be a Grey Sister, a nun who cleanses the bodies of the deceased so that their souls can pass on. Otherwise, they rise as spirits with ravenous hunger for the living. She would rather deal with the dead than the living, who trade whispers about her scarred hands and troubled past. When her convent is attacked by possessed soldiers, she defends it by awakening an ancient spirit bound to a saint's relic. It is a revenant, a malevolent being that threatens to possess her the moment she drops her guard. Wielding its extraordinary power almost consumes her, but death has come to Laurel, and only a Vespertine, a priestess trained to wield a high relic, has any chance of stopping it. With all the knowledge of Vespertine's lost to time, Artemisia turns to the last remaining expert for help, the Revenant itself. As she unravels the sinister mystery of saints, secrets, and dark magic, her bond with the Revenant grows, and when a hidden evil begins to surface, she discovers that facing this enemy might require her to betray everything she has been taught to believe if the Revenant doesn't betray her first. So, very spooky. Some of these books are spooky. I can't wait. Maybe I'll try to get them in with September if I have to do more rolls. Maybe I will do these in October. We shall see. So the next book that I got, that is one that's been making the boards. So I'm not going to go too much into discussion on this one, but that is the Atlas 6. It's a kind of sci-fi fantasy. It's been all over the talks. I'm not going to go into it too much because it's been on everybody's channels, but I will be joining the many who have read this, seeing where I fall, because I know some people have liked it, some people have not liked it. I know the sequel has either just come out or it's coming out, so I really want to see where I fall on that. Finally, the last book on my book haul purchase from Book Outlet is Heart of the Impaler. I love Vlad the Impaler. Haven't read Dracula. I picked it up a few times, always put it down. It is on my 40 before 40. I might try to read it in October for spooky. But the real story of Vlad the Impaler is fascinating to me. If you go to Transylvania and Hungary, where the historical, where Vlad the Impaler existed, they revere him pretty much as a hero. He fought for their independence. He kept them safe, although he was ruthless. He impaled people. It's a difference of perspective, really, on where you stood on the line. So this is a romance story featuring Vlad the Impaler. This is basically Vlad Dracula has long lived in the shadows cast by his bloodthirsty father, the voivode of Wallachia, and his older brother Mercia. Despite their cruelty, Vlad has yearned to prove himself worthy of the throne his whole life. In the cold halls of the voivode's palace, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Vlad can only rely on his cousin and closest friend, Andrei Musat. When Vlad and Andrei meet Ilona Trotsky, I'm so bad at these pronunciations, I don't know if that's correct, the daughter of an influential boyar, they each find themselves inextricably drawn to her. But then Ilona is betrothed to Mercia, which is Vlad's older brother, as part of a political alliance, and Vlad's resentfulness of his brother begins to seep into something far darker. Ilona has no desire to marry the voivode's eldest son, but love and marriage are the least of her worries. The royal family's enemies have already tried to put an arrow through her back, and if anyone discovers her blossoming feelings for Andrei and Vlad, she may just wish they'd succeeded. Beneath the shadow of impending war, the only battle that will be deadlier than the one for Ilona's life will be the one for her heart. So, interesting. There's a love triangle there, but then she's going to be married to the older brother, so is it a love square? I don't know how that works. But I'm intrigued. Like I said, I love Vlad the Impaler stories and myths of anything regarding that. So I will be very excited for that. So lots of books to read, which is good because my shelves were starting to get a little empty on my T.B.R. side, and we still have tons and tons of room to fill up these guys with. But let's just see. So basically, all of these I got, which is 14 books. I think I only spent like $80, which is amazing because let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these are hardbacks. So great deal, great deal. So I don't think I'm going to be doing a lot of book hauls in the future. I know I have a few books on pre-order, so I will see if I just add them in when I do whatever videos I do when they come in. But yeah, happy reading, happy reading. So if you read any of these, let me know your thoughts. Is there one I should really be trying to get in? Even if I can squeeze it in September, let me know. If there's other books you think I should be adding and looking for on a discount site or just a site in general because they were that fantastic, let me know. And I look forward to continuing this book journey with you. Bye.